It is 9 o'clock, well, 9:10, yeah, 9:07, on March 26th right now. And that means that at pretty much exactly this time, like close to the minute, last year, I was sitting down to my first chemo session, terrified and unsure of the whole process, just not knowing what was going to happen, how it was going to affect me, and I underestimated even that, because by the time I was done, it had hit like a ton of bricks. But it's been a year since I started that, which means I'm about 7.5 to 8 months into my recovery, depending on how you want to measure or quantify it, but that's the specifics of that don't really matter. So I just felt like just making a little update type video, because there's a lot to type and all that, and I know people are interested for whatever reasons. I'm actually in my car, so pardon the droopy background. It's old enough to vote. I did a little overtime this morning, so I wrote some notes down, because one of them is that I still get brain fog. It's gone for the most part, but my memory's still shaky at times, and concentration and stuff like that. But I'm just gonna go through the list, so I'm not rambling too much. Every hair that comes out when I, run my hands and all that, or if I'm shampooing my hair and get several hairs on my hands, it's still, it hits hard, it brings up an emotional reaction that, I have a dense mop, which, for 8 months of growth, it's not bad. But there's a lot up here, so throughout my life, I've, run my hands through the hair and had dozens upon dozens of hairs come out. Never a big deal. But now yeah. And every slight bump or lump or bug bite or, a pimple is scary. It's like, oh, okay, is there a lump on my neck? Is there it's, not quite like PTSD or anything. It's not that visceral, but there is definitely a, concern that I never had before. Same with any headache or stomach ache or ache of any kind. Is this a headache or is it something else? And I've been more achy, doing simple tasks causes like the sort of like, that post workout stiffness, soreness, whatever. I can do a heavy activity of something like moving a bunch of stuff at work, or, playing with the girls too much. And I'll get a stiffness and soreness that lasts way longer than it would have used to. And, there is some merit to the fact that I'm older than I used to be, but, not so much older to account for what's going on. Like my shoulders have hurt for 6 months straight. And my sleep's still pretty messed up. It gets better. It goes in waves a bit. And that doesn't even account for the fact that I got a 5-year-old and 2-year-old. So yeah, I have trouble staying asleep, falling asleep, all that fun stuff. I've tried melatonin and things like that. It's iffy at best, which leads into the whole energy levels not being great and pretty uneven too. There'll be times when I'm, good to go and can power through and all that. And then there's times where I just, like I'm hit by a truck, I just am dead on my feet. And then again, with the whole achy and hard thing, I've definitely lost strength, trying to get that back. But again, I can't work out too much or otherwise I'm in a lot of pain for a long time. But yeah, it's even hard to do stretches and lifting, of any kind, really. I've been getting better, doing better, but it's still, I am fighting as best I can. I don't know why I put that as a note, just to make sure I remembered it, just in case. I'm pushing through. I'm doing a lot better overall, I think. It's harder to notice the improvements, it's the jump from 1 to 2 is double, but the same quantity from 75 to 76. It's still just one more, but it's a lot less noticeable in that. So, early on I was getting better and it was more noticeable. Now I think I'm still getting better at about the same pace, but it's just less impactful. But that said, about, 4 or 5 months ago, at work, I was brought into a meeting in one of the conference rooms in the main office off the factory floor, with my direct supervisor, the HR person, and I'm not 100% sure. I think he's an account, one of the money guys. And I was basically told that because of the days I was missing and the hours I wasn't making and things like that, I had to be dropped to part-time unless I could consistently do minimum 30 hours. And I didn't have any other option just because of, going to part-time would lose me my health insurance and that. So, and I get it. It wasn't a unreasonable situation. It was stressful, but not unreasonable. And I managed to do it. I managed to push out the 30s, and it was a struggle. It was difficult and all that. This week, I missed Monday, for a stomach bug that the girls had, and I got. Not as bad as they did, but I still got it. And I still hit about 5 hours of overtime, so in 4 days and a short Saturday, I put in 45 hours. Last week, it was 49 hours, 49 and a half, something like that. And I would have worked Saturday then too, but the girls got sick on Friday. So there's gain there, and loss. I've lost weight. I was sitting around 245, 250 before everything. And then during I peaked at 260 just because of the lack of movement and everything. And I'm down to about 238 and dropping. So there's positives and I'm gaining, but there's I lost an entire summer, really, of projects and things to do around the house. The yard got out of control. So I'm a bit overwhelmed. I have a whole summer's worth of backlog and things to do, and I'm lower energy levels. I'm more tired. It's overwhelming in a way, but not insurmountable. But it still is daunting, very daunting to get it all lined up and figured out and all that. But and I'm getting more patient again. It's difficult, especially with the girls. Rain's 5 and very hyperactive and very stubborn and very much my daughter. Iris is 2, and 2-year-olds are, yeah. So that there's difficulty there, but I'm getting better with that, and not getting too loud and trying to keep that under control. But it never got too bad, but it was difficult. It was a lot more difficult. But it is improving there. And like I said, the brain fog is lifting some. Can be difficult at times, especially when I'm tired or upset. I'll get a sort of looping stutter. Like I'll try, that sort of thing. But I'm doing well in my new job position at work. I like it better than what I used to do. Getting more responsibility, and it's more mental than just physical. The old thing I did, I did it well, but it was, I don't know, I got trained monkey vibes out of what I was doing. It was not quite that simple, but, particularly smart trained monkey could have done it. Maybe not well, but could have done it. So it was, yeah, I like what I'm doing more, a lot more. Now, I think I covered everything in my notes. All in all, I'm doing better. I'm feeling better. It's still a struggle, And it's weird that it's been a year, because it feels a lot longer than that. It feels like it has been like a decade or something. To sit here in this car and know that literally 1 year ago, right now, at 9:20ish in the morning, I was probably sitting down in the chair for the first time, because at that first appointment, most of them, honestly, it was usually about 9, got in usually 8:55, 9 o'clock. They were pretty prompt. Sat in the office for a second, talked with the doctor, what to expect, how I'm doing, all that sort of stuff. And then went back to the chair, and usually it was about 9:15, 9:20 when the nurse came over and things got underway. So the fact that it's only been a year is just wild. It's almost incomprehensible to me. I don't, yeah, it's really hard to process. I'm glad it's been a year. But yeah, so a 15-minute, slightly rambling, way too filled video to explain just where I'm at. So this is going to take forever to upload.